Choosing a Bitcoin wallet is confusing. And if you pick the wrong one, you can lose your Bitcoin. Hot wallets, cold wallets, custodial, non-custodial. Most people pick one without really understanding the trade-offs. I tested the main ones for a month to figure out which actually makes sense. And the answer is simpler than you think. I'm Sats, and today we're making Bitcoin wallet choices actually make sense. Let's keep it simple. Before I get into the wallets, you need to understand one thing. There are two completely different types of Bitcoin wallet. And if you mix them up, you will make the wrong choice. Software wallets, sometimes called hot wallets, are apps on your phone or computer. They are connected to the internet. They are convenient for smaller amounts and regular transactions. Hardware wallets are physical devices that store your private keys offline. They are for larger amounts you intend to hold securely over time. I tested both, but they serve different purposes, and you should probably own one of each once you have an amount of Bitcoin worth protecting. Let me start with software wallets. The first one I spent serious time with was Blue Wallet. It is free, open source, and available on both iOS and Android. What I liked about it was how clean and uncluttered the interface is. There is nothing unnecessary on the screen. It supports both on-chain Bitcoin and Lightning Network transactions, which makes it flexible for different use cases. The backup process is standard. You get a 12 or 24-word seed phrase which you write down and store safely, and restoring from that seed phrase is straightforward. Where Blue Wallet requires some attention is in the setup. It gives you control, and with control comes responsibility. If you delete the app without backing up your seed phrase, the Bitcoin is gone. There is no customer service to call. It is genuinely non-custodial, which is the point, but it means the responsibility sits entirely with you. For a beginner who wants a non-custodial software wallet and is willing to take the setup seriously, Blue Wallet is what I would recommend. The second software wallet I tested was Muun. Muun takes a different approach to security that I found interesting. Instead of a standard seed phrase, it uses an emergency recovery kit, essentially a PDF you download and store securely, and a recovery code you keep separately. The logic is that this is more beginner-friendly than asking someone to write down 24 words correctly. The interface is exceptionally clean. Sending and receiving worked without friction. My hesitation with Muun is the non-standard recovery mechanism. The seed phrase format that Blue Wallet uses is a standard across the industry. If Blue Wallet ever shut down, you could restore your wallet in any other seed phrase compatible software. Muun's recovery kit ties you more closely to Muun's own process. That is not necessarily a problem, but it is worth understanding before you choose it. The third software wallet I spent time with was Wallet of Satoshi. This one is different from the others because it is custodial. Wallet of Satoshi holds your keys, not you. It is the easiest Lightning wallet I have ever used. Sending and receiving Bitcoin over the Lightning Network is as simple as anything I have tried. For very small amounts and frequent transactions, it is genuinely impressive. But because it is custodial, I would not use it for anything I was not prepared to lose. It is a spending wallet, not a savings wallet. Treat it like cash in a physical wallet, not like a bank account. Now, hardware wallets. I have written separately about the Ledger setup process in depth, so I am not going to repeat all of that here. What I will say about the Ledger experience across a month of regular use is that once the initial setup anxiety passes, it becomes a natural part of how you interact with your Bitcoin. The Ledger Live software is genuinely well designed. The device itself is small and reliable. Address verification on the device screen is the habit that matters most, and once you do it a few times, it becomes automatic. The main friction with Ledger for new users is the initial setup and the conceptual shift of understanding that your Bitcoin is not inside the device. It is on the blockchain, and the device is just the key. Once that clicks, the workflow makes sense. The other hardware wallet I tested was the Trezor Safe 3. The user experience is slightly different from Ledger. The Trezor Suite software is capable and clear. The device uses a touchscreen for navigation, which some people prefer to Ledger's two-button approach. The seed phrase backup process is standard and thorough. Open source firmware is a feature that matters to some people more than others, and if it matters to you, Trezor's fully open source approach gives you more visibility into what the device is doing. For most beginners, the choice between Ledger and Trezor will come down to which interface you find more comfortable. Both are reliable. Both do the job. I would not lose sleep over which one you choose as long as you choose one. Here is the honest overall picture. For getting started, a non-custodial software wallet like Blue Wallet covers most beginners' needs while they are learning and accumulating. Once you have an amount worth protecting, which for most people is somewhere between $1,000 and $5,000, a hardware wallet becomes genuinely important rather than optional. The mistake most beginners make is leaving everything on an exchange because setting up a separate wallet feels like extra steps. And that is exactly how people lose their Bitcoin. One wallet is not forever. Your setup should evolve as your holdings grow. A wallet of Satoshi for small Lightning payments, Blue Wallet for slightly larger on-chain transactions, and a Ledger or Trezor for your long-term holdings is a setup that covers most situations for most people at most stages. Alright, let's make sure this lands clearly. 2 categories: software wallets for convenience and smaller amounts, hardware wallets for security and longer-term holdings. You probably need one of each eventually. For software, Blue Wallet is the non-custodial option I would recommend for most beginners. Muun is an alternative with a different recovery approach. Wallet of Satoshi is excellent for Lightning, but is custodial, so treat it as spending money only. For hardware, Ledger and Trezor are both reliable. The choice between them is mostly about interface preference. Either is significantly better than leaving your Bitcoin on an exchange. Your setup should evolve as your holdings grow. Start simple. Add security as the amount worth protecting increases. If you want a full walkthrough of setting up a Ledger wallet from scratch, that video covers every step from unboxing to your first transfer. The link is in the description, and it is the most watched tutorial on the channel. Watch that next. Stack smart, stay curious. See you in the next stack.